Hi all, back with more Redvers Reverse. This is my part 6. So, same day as I recorded part 5, but I've just been away for a good bit. So, should get this done. Might get another part, well, maybe not. Maybe just this. We shall see. Right, nothing to say, although I was watching back a bit more footage and I think I was maybe talking wrongly again regarding the whole bore zone, bore plot, bore target part. Maybe. I think I've got on top of that now, but it is possible I might have been speaking wrong now that I've realised some more things about that. Well, at least I think I've realised more things about it. Okay, let's just press on. So we were on the movement phase, yeah, and I figure there's quite a bit to do here. So yeah, I'm going to move everybody if they've got objectives, etc. And then move HQ along. If unit exits drift areas, right? We're going to have to find out about this whole drift thing bit as well, and we might be looking at how assault's going to work possibly. But we'll see. Right, let's look around and see who we're going to move, and I'll get some green cubes again together. They're not that many, Grant. To see who's to mark everybody that moves about. Okay. Right, so start across this side, I suppose. We've got the 5th Irish, their objective is there. So it seems logical that they're going to move into there rather than there because there's no drift. Oh, yeah, that was one bit I noticed. I spoke about this artillery fire, this artillery not being able to fire at this. And yet, I remember myself talking about this firing into this area. In fact, did that not what done all this damage? It can fire into here. So if it can fire into here, we can fire into 1, 2 into there. And I've went 1, 2, 3 thinking it's 3 areas away, but because we can go through there into that area, then this artillery could have fired at that. That was a blunder. I mean, I want to say one of them fired at that, one of them fired at that, I think. So they have still done a job anyway. But anyway, right. So the 5th Irish, yeah, sometimes the borders can sort of throw you a bit and you've got to be careful about where you can move. However, we can't cross the river there. We can cross the river at this drift. So it seems logical to be moving into there. We will then be able to have some rifle fire against this guy. 1, 2, 3. We're still going to be out of range of the artillery up there. However, this guy will also be able to rifle fire back at us, but the fact that he's suppressed is quite nice. So, yes, indeed, we're going to... now, are you moving them all, though, Grant? That's the thing. Yeah, here's when... Well, yeah. I mean, yes, I could put 1 or 2 of them in here. It doesn't... I'm not actually sure if I can do that, because to get to my objective for there, I'm going to have to go 1, 2. To get to my objective for there, I'm going to have to go 1. And I say that, I'm not coding the drift there, but the drift's going to be an extra. I've got to remember, we've got to move onto the drift before we can then move into that area. So I'm not awful sure if I can actually put something here, but do I want to? It just means that this is going to fire on that, and we're not going to be able to fire back at it. Well, we're not going to be able to fire on that first because it's hidden. It's and an emplacement. However, that's a way of getting its hidden marker off. You've got to I think you've got to kind of do that, haven't you? You've got to get adjacent to them and let them fire at you first. I'm not awful sure if I'm allowed to move units into there. I think going by the movement rules I am. Well, no, that's a bit backwards, Grant. I think part of it feels like I am because I am in an adjacent area to where what I'm talking about here is moving this unit and the leader going with him. And let's just say we move that in there as well. But let's just say that we don't and we move these 2 in here. That's legal because he's still in adjacent heads to the leader, but But. No, I think I'm going to keep them all together. First game playing this as well, so, you know, well, first real game anyway. I think that makes a bit more sense. It does mean when we eventually get into that area, though, that they're going to be able to fire and they're going to be able to fire, so, you know. But, yeah, I get the feeling I would be allowed to move them in there. Because it does talk, and throughout the rules, it does talk a little bit that these could potentially be 2 areas away from this, but then they've got to try and move closer to it. They've got to move to being in the radius round about the leader. So I think it would be allowed, but do you want to do it then, Grant? Because it's going to take a while getting over that drift. And I don't need any more firepower here, because I've got the 4 plus the extra 1 unit to fire. All this is going to do is draw their fire. 1, 2, see, I can't get that. I can't even get artillery fire onto that. That's a big 6 though, coming at your mind. That's a bit risky. I feel like this should be important to have a look at while we're considering this as well. This is on page 6 of the rulebook. Drift and bridge areas. The Tugela River may only be crossed via a drift or bridge area. Remember, there's only one bridge area. The railway bridge area, in my understanding, is not in play. It's a variant. So there's only one bridge, and the rest of the crossings are going to be through the drifts. These areas are counted for the purpose of calculating movement distance. Batteries must choose a bridge area, so batteries can't go across a drift. Okay, that's interesting as well then. It says these areas are counted for the purpose of calculating movement distance. So, any of the times that I've been calculating my movement, well, it says movement, I think it's still just one. The areas are adjacent, but it would still cost you 2 movement to get through a drift into that area rather than just 1. Whereas I suppose I've been counting it as 1. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's right or not then. Because sometimes I've been counting from area to area, but there's not been a drift in the way, which kind of says that's not really a legal movement path. So, anyway. When a drift area with a drift marker showing drift is about to be entered by a battalion or regiment, the player must first find the drift. Each drift has a drift marker. Adjust it to show its value and roll 2 dice. Drift will be found if that value or less is rolled. If the drift is found, remove the drift marker and the drift area can now be entered. Okay, so this is as we're about to move into it. So when in our movement phase, we say, right, we're going to move into that drift. We flip it over, let's just say it's an 8. We roll a 7, we take it away. We then can move into the drift with a 1 movement point. Now, how many units can we move into that drift? I'm hoping that's going to tell me here. However, this is the downside to this. If it is not found, you leave the drift marker showing its value. The battalion or regiment may not enter the drift area, stays where it is, and if in play, the planned objective and objective markers of its brigade are removed. British may roll again to find the drift in subsequent turns. So then you've got to set up a new objective for the... So, carrying on. Commandos, which are the Boers, do not have to roll to find drifts. Remove the drift marker if that drift area is entered by them. This drift area can now also be entered by the British. Okay. No more than 2 units can enter. This is the bit I was really wanting. No more than 2 units can enter or cross a drift area per turn. Okay. Right, so yeah, if you had units with 2 movement, for instance, the regiment, the mounted cavalry, they couldn't all just stroll across there. So no more than 2 units can enter or cross the drift area per turn, and only 1 may remain in it at the end of a... That means only one can move on it then. No more than 2 units can enter or cross a drift area per turn, and only one may remain in it at the end of a movement segment. No more than 3 units can enter or cross a bridge per area per turn, and only 2 may remain on it at the end of the movement segment. A disrupted or suppressed unit cannot enter a drift area. Oh dear. Oh well. That's well, that could cause problems too. So a disrupted or suppressed unit cannot enter a drift area, but may leave one unless it is conducting an emergency withdrawal or has a return marker. When a unit exits a drift area, its morale level is dropped 1 level, with the exception that suppressed stay the same. Right, so if it happened to be, well, it can't be disrupted because it just said there it cannot enter a drift area. I suppose it could be on the drift area though and become disrupted by fire, and then when it moves off, it would then move up a morale level up to suppressed, but it won't go higher than suppressed. So, okay, well, that means we cannot have 2 units on the... I'm pretty sure that was something else that guy was getting wrong in that playthrough then. I didn't watch it fully to the end, but I'm pretty sure he was stacking 2 units on the drift. But that tells you can't, is it? Because at the end of the movement segment, there can only be one there. Okay. Well, that means it's quite a slow process then. Well, hang on, this is me just moving these guys up into here anyway, isn't it? So next turn, all I would get to do here is say, right, we're going to move this guys through this drift, lift the drift marker, have a look at it, the number, roll the dice. If it's successful, one of these guys will get to move on to there, and that'll be it. Because although 2 of them can move through it, if we had the cavalry here, we could move 2 units right through it. And could we move 1 onto it? No more than 2 units can enter or cross a drift area per turn. And only 1 may remain in it at the end of the movement segment. So yeah, if you had cavalry units, they'd be able to go they'd be able to move both of them into there. And that would be that. But for infantry units, we're only going to be able to do that. And I can't move another one in because that's the end of the movement segment and there's 2 units there. Okay, well that's how it is. So I think with that, there's kind of time for these guys to sit here. Do you really need the 2 of them across there though, Grant? Well, you do if you get the chance and maybe be able to shoot at them the next again turn once they've fired at you. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that and see. So they move from this area into there. The leader and these 2 units moved into there, and the other 2 units moved into that area there. Okay. Right, moving on. Right, I think I'll maybe come back to these. We'll also find out that they cannot move through that drift while they're in that suppressed state, so they'll need to fix that first. Well, yeah, they do have to move. Yeah, but I might not be wanting to move all of these. Was I right in thinking that I maybe didn't realise I could fire at that guy from there as well then maybe? No, I think I thought that was okay. What I feel like I should be doing here is well, Littleton, he's got to make a move. So I'm going to move him up with one of these units. Well, no, with 2 of the units. This one's the one with the step loss. I think I'm going to leave that one behind then. So I'm going to put these 2 up into their suppressed. And then I think I'm going to just leave these 2 here. Because I'm pretty sure I'm wanting these to fire on this. Oh no, Grant, he's hidden. Still. I think I should maybe just push them all up. Because I can't get a shot on him anyway. Until he maybe shoots, eventually fires at somebody. Well, who's he going to fire at? I think you're going to have the same situation there where they're going to fire at this. And this would end up firing at that, unless of course I'll leave these guys here because this has now got different targets. In fact, you know what? That's a 6. So what's going to happen there is he's going to fire at these 2, and he's going to fire at these 2, and then. Well, that's a 6. That would happen before that. That would fire at them. That's a 4, isn't it? I think that would fire at that. Although in saying that could fire at these 2, couldn't it? And these are the same. Remember, it actually comes down to the same. What is it? Stacking points is relevant. And their stacking points, they're 4 stacking points, and they're 4 stacking points. So it would be random, I think. If I leave these guys there, there's a chance that might want to fire at that instead of them. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave them there then. And I think that's okay to do that. Because again, these are up there, now they're here at this drift, and we're going to have to work our way through that drift. Well, I mean, the problem there is, I'm saying work my way through the drift. We can't do that until that we lose our suppression, but I don't know. I don't know if that would mean that I would have been able to maybe stay in this area, because we're still 1, 2, 3 away. No, but that's 1, 2 areas away, Grant. So I think I have to move the leader if I can now. You know, if I can, I've got to move him closer. Now I won't be able to next turn if these guys are suppressed, because nothing will be able to get through this drift while they're in that state. Okay. Right. I was trying to sort of ponder on the possibility of having a cheeky move of one of these into here, but again, this has got 4 stacking points, this has got 4. If I move that into there, that means that's got 5 stacking points. So it's more than likely going to be a target. Yeah, I don't think we should be doing that just yet. I think we should just leave our artillery at range, as long as it can hit some of this stuff and help out a bit. Let's not get carried away. Right, moving along. So, right, these guys are still not unlimbered then. This is the one that's got the 2, isn't it? So they must have reached their objective last turn but not been able to unlimber. Yeah, because they've only got 1 movement point. Right. So, well, right, hang on. I might come back to them, because these have to move into here. That's their objective. He's not going to be able to unlimber either, but that's him reached the objective. I put these further along, I think. Out of the way a little bit. Actually, maybe I will. I think I will put them on the map now. Well, mind you, that's a good area to put my tripod. I was going to say I'll put these on the map, kind of in their areas, But this is a good wee space for me to put my tripod, I suppose. So I'm just setting these across to the side a bit, because some of these are getting in the way of my tripod as well. Okay, so that, well, hang on, that was that guy moved, Grant. Let's mark him up. Yeah, and he wasn't able to unlimber, right? Okay, so the 6 Fusiliers, well, maybe the mounted first. So the mounted are going to go, now this is going to be a, right, what stacking limit is that then? Is a regiment just one as well? Sorry, I mean yeah, a regiment, yeah. Will they just count as one? Yeah, I don't know where I read that bit about stacking points. Where would there be? It would be Boer pot chart, British stacking points. So it's when we're potting the fire. Right, pause just now to try and find this. There it is there, page 9 under Boer firing. Each battalion equals 2 stacking points, and each regiment equals 1 stacking points. 1 stacking point, regardless whether or not they have taken losses. Batteries are worth 1 stacking point in total. Oh, batteries are worth 1 stacking point in total, regardless of how many batteries are present in an area. Ah, right, I missed that one then. So that actually means that there's only, like, in this area, there's only 1 stacking point, rather than the 2 that I thought. However, these are counted as 1 each, no matter what side they're on as well. So that is 6 in total. It's just that, obviously, the place to put them is probably up here. So that's going to be 6. Well, in actual fact, that's only going to be 6 plus 1, 7. Anyway, nothing can hit you there anyway. So I'm going to go 1, 2 with them, I think. And it says I can't dismount until we reach our objective for this as well. Which is a bit annoying, I think, because maybe I might not want to, because next turn I'm going to have to go 1, 2 and in there. And, well, we're going to see what happens, aren't we? But we're going to be on our mounted side still. Right, okay, well, never mind. And then the Fusiliers here, no, they can't go in that area. They need to go in that area because that's going to be adjacent. So that's them into there. And that's them moved. And what else have we got? Well, we've got the field artillery up here. What is that? That's the 1st Artillery Brigade. I think they're okay, aren't they? I don't think I want to move them. No. And, yeah. Right, why haven't I done any of these guys? I said I would come back to them, but, I mean, I'm going to just unlimber them, am I not? I didn't move them, did I? No, they've been there for a while. So I'm assuming I'm just going to unlimber them. I don't know why I'm thinking about doing different things, because they can fire into this area, 1, 2, into there. That is it, mind you, but no, that's not true. They can fire 1, 2 into here as well. So yeah, so I'm going to unlimber them as their move. I'm not sure why I was thinking of doing something different. Okay, so that's them had a move. Yeah, and I think the other two artillery brigades are just going to sit tight. So, and then finally, we've got the 2nd English. Right, and this is going to be the tricky bit. I mean, these have to move. Now, their objective is up there. So, the railway bridge is out of commission. The bridge is enterable, but... Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3. If I move into there, 1, 2, see that? I can move into there via this bridge, but that's not getting me closer to my objective. Whereas the drift area is. So, hold on. We're disrupted. We can't move into that drift. We've just read that, didn't we? A disruptive special unit cannot enter a drift area, but may leave one. Oh dear. Right, well they can't move at all. Well, what about the bridge? Disruptive special unit cannot enter a drift area, but it doesn't talk about the bridge. Hold on. Moving suppressed units is an issue. Special unit may move only if in a clear, drift or bridge area and must stop if it enters a brush, rough or hill area, when it must stay until not suppressed. A suppressed unit may move only if it's in a clear, drift or bridge area and must stop if it enters a brush. It's just that I did move these, but that was a clear area, and they moved into a clear area. That's fine actually. It's just suppressed. It's not. So yeah, I didn't realise that one though. So if they had started in a hill area or a rough area, for instance, they would not have been able to move like that. Well, I'm not sure if disrupted units can move into a bridge area. They can't move into the drift. Well, it doesn't say they can't, Grant. The problem is, well, hold on here. Okay, you're saying you can't move your leader in there because it's not moving closer to your objective. At the moment, his objective is, let's count movement points. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4 to reach there. If he came this way, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is further going round that way. And if he was to move... Yeah, so if he was to move into the bridge, onto the bridge, it'd then be 1, 2, 3, 4 away, whereas he's not moving closer, but he's not moving further away. If his objective marker is in an area, he must move towards it along the shortest possible route. He may either move alone to an area with a unit from his brigade present, or move together with at least one of his units to an area using the lowest movement point allowance. He must end the segment start with a unit from the brigade. Yeah, well, I'm not really sure there then. Because none of these units can move onto that drift. And it doesn't say they can't move onto that bridge, so... How many units can be left on a bridge? Was it 2? So does that mean I can move 2 of them in there? No more than 3 units can enter or cross a bridge area per turn, and only 2 may remain on it at the end of the movement segment. I'm going to do this then. I'm going to move this disrupted unit I'm going to stack these up, I think. And this disrupted unit onto this bridge. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if this is allowed or not. I mean, once I move into that area, I'm still in an adjacent area to the leader, so that's fine. And even if I was in that area and moved into there, I'd still be adjacent to the leader, so that would be fine. Just wondering if the leader should maybe be coming with them, though. Let's go with that, because I know it's kind of bad being on that bridge, and they're going to be the target as well, aren't they? They take a priority, don't they? Is that not? Yeah, that's priority B, which is all areas not adjacent to the red map edge but north of the river, all drifts and bridges. So that's going to be a priority target. Yeah, I just wonder if I should maybe just have one of them in there. Oh, we'll leave it. You know what? We'll leave it. We'll leave the two of them in there. So I'm not going to move the rest. Well, because I can't. The only other thing I could do would be to... And the railway bridge, I mean... Is that, when it says it's not in play, does that mean I can't go across that area at all, I suppose? Where does it tell me about the railway bridge? It's on this. This was back in the box, to be honest. This is a variance chart. You start the game, and you've got some that give you minus points, some that give you plus points, and you've got you can use as many as you want of these as long as it balances the points out back to 0, I think it is. So it's the one up the top there. Railway bridge knocked down. Place the railway bridge marker in the railway bridge area. This area will now function the same as the bridge area. You know what? I should have realised that. Because if you look closely at the hex, you can see that the bridge is actually not intact. So that bridge area is actually broken. And that's why there's a variant to bring it into play and make it act like a bridge. So that would be that would modify. Obviously, if you use that, it'd be a benefit to you. So you'd probably have to add something that was not so good. Right, so that's worked that one out then. Right, I'm going to just go with this and we'll see. I don't know, are you starting to get lazy, Grant? Should you be looking on BGG maybe and seeing if you can find something regarding this? I don't think so. I think I'll just play through as I see this. I think it's... Yeah, that's not really your style though. So maybe you should have a look. I'm just not sure what I'm looking for here. Yeah, I suppose it's leader movement, isn't it? Right, maybe let's just see if I can find something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. They certainly can't go on this, and he can't go there himself, I don't believe, because he would have to be with another unit. He could join them there. And the fact he's got 2 movement points, he can't move right through because there's none of his units in this area. So, I mean, to be honest, when they do get through there, he would then be able to move through beside them. So, I'm going to leave it as is, and if anybody's got any actual feelings that they know how this should be, I guess what I'm trying to do is, because he's got an objective marker, I'm trying to make sure that he says he must move towards it along the shortest possible route. I'm talking about the objective marker. But here's the thing, at the moment, going across this bridge is the shortest possible route because we can't go across the drift, so that could be... But then again, this disruptive marker could come off this turn, then this guy could move on there the next turn, then he could then join them. Yeah, maybe the leader should go with him. Well, you know what? I'll not put the leader on there, because if they do manage to get through there, he can move 1, 2 into there. So let's just leave him as he is there. Right, well, come on, Grant, let's get going. Right, I think that's everybody moved, apart from the two sections of two brigades of artillery, which I don't want to move. And yeah, I mean, we're classing him as that's been the hub of movement, and we'll leave it at that. Right, okay. Right, so that's everybody moved. Oh no, what about Buller and the Colonel Long and the HQ? Yeah, this is again because I've not really played the game any further than this. I don't know where they should be moving to. Well, the HQ needs to watch. It cannot be in. Well, to be honest, if it's going to move, it's going to have to turn over in movement mode anyway, isn't it? Because if it's in range of the artillery, it cannot then be in operative mode. I think Long's better staying there because he's going to be more helpful to these, because these are in range of the rifle fire here in particular. Yeah, I think we might just leave Buller. Well, hold on, no, Grant. Remember we said it's better for recovery. Yeah, stop that thought. Yeah, in fact, let's get him up there beside these. Indeed. Now, if they're on that bridge disrupted, are they classed in that area still? I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to move Buller 1, 2 up into there. Because he benefits for, if he's in the same area as a battalion or regiment, they get a +1 to the recovery modifier. And that's kind of why Long, when he's beside any batteries, gives a +1 as well to recovery. But none of these batteries in trouble, but these are the ones that are sort of like, if any, are likely to get maybe hit. Okay, let's do that. So that does mean you're going to leave the HQ behind, does it? 1, 2, 3. Well, to be honest, I'm better turning it over to its movement side, because that takes the whole action to do that this turn. And then I can move it if I want, or if I don't want it, I can flip it back over again. Okay, right, that's my movement done now. So what's next? Yeah, there's nothing to change status-wise. So British assault segment, well, not yet. We're getting closer, but there's not any Boer units and British units in the same area. I don't believe the bridge counts. Yeah, I'm going to go out on the one and just say that doesn't count. British assault segment, need to be in the same area. All units in the area fire, not routed batteries or artillery. What's the matter? We're saying batteries and artillery there. I'm counting them as the same thing, but I don't know what the actual difference is there. So it uses the fire chart as follows, and it's got a different sort of procedure, but I think being on the bridge is not, it's not in the same area, or being in a drift it's not, because it's bad being in a drift. We're going to get, in a drift or bridge area, the Boers are going to get a, yuck, they're going to get a +2 to attacking that. That's brutal. Oh, hang on. Now I'm looking at us firing on them in a bridge, right? But if they were firing on us, yeah, they're going to get a +2. Yeah, it's the same. Yuck, that's not going to be good. Right, so there's still no assault going on. And then Boer event. Oh, have we moved on to game turn 5? No, we're not. We're still in game turn 4. So there's not a Boer event, but next turn there will be. And then we've got to look at this status phase. Turn 5 or later, things are going to happen. We should probably look at that. I want to say that... Well, actually, no, maybe not. I haven't got any north of the river. I want to say that we need to get something north of the river, I think, to stop some of that happening, but... Right, well, we'll see. Okay, and then Born Moonman, still not going to be any of that either. And then Rifle Fire Phase, right. A British Rifle Fire Phase first. So let's go and have a look. Right, so just scanning across here. So British Rifle Fire, well, these guys are in range of this, but there's no point because of the modifiers. However, they can fire in on this. They can fire in on this. Remember, it would mean they both couldn't. Well, technically they both could. One of these could fire in and one of these could fire in. They create the multi-fire, but we don't get any more beneficial. And the thing is that there's no other place that these can fire, so it makes more sense that probably these guys are going to fire. Well, let's just do that, Dan. Why don't we just do that? So we're going to have these two firing into there, because these don't have a hidden marker. They are in the emplacement still, so that's going to be a multiple attack into there, because we're using one unit and adding the other unit. Like I say, there's no point in attacking there. So the fourth light, well, I mean, they're suppressed. They're suppressed firing into there, so... Oh, actually, they've got that area as a target as well, but that's hidden. This is not hidden, so they might... In fact, I don't think there is, because with being suppressed, they're going to get a -2 for that, aren't they? So it's like 4 plus 1 for the multiplier is 5, but because they're suppressed, takes it down a -2 to 3. And then he's going to get a -2 for being a placement, takes it down to 1, and I can only roll a 6, which is not good enough for a hit. So that's not going to work either. Yeah, we need to get that suppressed stuff off us, for sure. Okay, right, moving on along. And then these guys possibly firing into there. Well, this is hidden and an emplacement as well, and these are suppressed anyway, so that's not going to do any good. Right, these ones are disrupted though. Right, no point firing into there because he's hidden. No point firing into there because he's hidden. These could maybe fire into here then. I want to say they would need to roll a 6, just by my thinking, because that's going to be 4, plus 1 for multipliers 5, -1 for being disrupted. It's down to 4 again, and then they're going to get a -2 because they're in emplacement. Takes it down to 2. Which is, I would need a 6. Well, you know what, it's still worthwhile taking that on. Because, yeah, there's no point not trying it. Okay. Oh, what else have we got? I think that's that, actually. Is that it? That seems like not an awful lot of hope, to be honest. We've got one multiple attack there. That's about the best attack we've got. And that one's going to need a 6 rolled. Mind you, this one's going to need... No, maybe it's just a 4, isn't it? Because it's 4 plus 1 for a multiple attack is 5, -2 for being in emplacement, takes it down to 3. Yeah, we need to roll a 5. So yeah, they're tough. They're tough calls, aren't they? There's not anything else we can get. If the boars were routed, that would work. If they were in a drift or bridge area, that would work. That's the only two modifiers we get from them. And the ones we get from us, battalion in close order and close combat, which is not what we're doing. Mounted regiment in close combat, which is not what we're doing, and we're not mounted. Same area as target, right? We get a +1 for that. Yeah, and yeah, it's tough to get through. Just remember back to the guy rolling 2 dice though, and it was easy. But then it was easy for the boars to hit our guys too. Well, to be honest, in general, it is easier for the boars to hit us because they're firing with 6s, and we're firing with a maximum of 5s, pretty much. Well, they're firing with 6s, and sometimes more when they draw the chit. Well, okay, sometimes less. You could say that, I suppose. Right, okay. Come on, Grant. Let's move. So we're only got 2 attacks then. Right, and just glancing through the procedure here again, just in case I was missing anything. I'm not going to... Well, we can swing round. I can look at it at long range, I suppose. Choose one target area. Place a single attack marker unless you adjust it to a multiple attack. Fire. To fire, choose a boar unit in the area as a target unit. Well, both areas actually that's not true. One of the areas we're firing in, it has 2 boar units, so we'll just pick the one that's closest. I don't think it matters, so we'll pick this guy here, the Krugstorp. Well, the other one's the Johannesburg Police, so I don't know. We'll pick the I can't remember what it was now. We'll pick the first one anyway. And as for that one, there's just one in the area, so that's fine. Yeah, and we'll see if we get lucky, which is what we need to get. So 4 + 1's 5. Well, so I'll just come down to the table here. Yeah, so we need an 8. In fact, well, that's all we're getting the chance at. It says 8 to 12, but we're only going to be able to get an 8. So multiple attack, we're getting that +1. The strength of the unit is 4, so that's 5. Does it apply? Doesn't apply? Doesn't apply? Doesn't apply? Doesn't apply? And then the only one that applies for them is in an emplacement, so it's 5 -2. So we have a 3. We need an 8. So we need a 5 or a 6. Oh, rush. Right. Well, I've worked out the numbers for the other one, and rather than go back up there, I'll talk it through, I suppose. We've got 2 disrupted units attacking with multi-fire. We're going to be attacking that first unit. So it's 4 for the strength, 1 for the multi-fire, it's 5, -1 for being disrupted. So I might as well show you that. 1, 4 is 5, -1's 4. They are in an emplacement, so -2 from the 4 is 2, and that's it. So we need an 8, we've got a +2. Then we roll another 2. Right. So nothing doing. Right, British recovery would be next. Roll for each leader with panicked or standing firm. Well, none of that. So roll for each disrupted, suppressed, or routed unit on the unit recovery table. So we've got a few bits to do with that one. Right, so we'll start across this side. 1, 2, 3, 4 units suppressed. Now the one that might have some relevance, this one has a step loss on it, which might affect the die roll. So I'm going to roll for this first, then this, then this, then this. So the last one's going to be the one that's got the step loss. Well, this is unit recovery. Is that right? Is that where it should be? British recovery segment. Roll for each on the unit recovery table. Yes. So, any modifiers for us? Don't think so. Well, actually, the step loss isn't going to matter. It's only if it was reduced. That means if it's flipped over its other side. So no. Bueller's not with them. Not batteries, and Long is not with them. No bore units adjacent. Well, there is boar units adjacent to them all. Yes, so no modifiers. They're suppressed, so we need greater than a 6. Ideally 11 or more. But right, so I'll roll for them in the order I said. So the top one, so a 7 or better we want. Just a 7, so he's going to go down to disrupted. Next one is a 9. No, it was an 11 I needed, wasn't it? Yeah, I better change him first. So he's dropping from suppressed to disrupted. And the next one rolled a 9. He was suppressed. Yeah, so it's up 1 level as well. So that he's disrupted. It's just, yeah, it's still a struggle. We still can't move on to the drift with that state. It's going to take a while to get anything moving, eh? Yeah, I'm feeling there's a bit more to like getting through this game than what it looks. But okay, so we've got 2 more. And then none of the modifiers. Like I say, the one that's got the step loss is not even modified as well. So, right, so the third one, he's missing out there, isn't he? He's staying suppressed, isn't he? 6 or less is unchanged. And then the one that's got the step loss was a 5, so he's staying suppressed as well. So there's a bit of a mixture there. So we got 2 back to disrupted and 2 have stayed suppressed. Right, this time over here, these are disrupted, so I'm going to go in order 1, 2, and then we'll do the 2 on the bridge. I think I'm going to have to say that the 2 on the bridge are not in the same area as Buller, so let's do the 2 that are disrupted in the same area as Buller first. So they're going to get a +1 because Buller is in the same area. Okay? So, but these are disrupted this time, so as an 8 or more we need to move up. So the first one with a +1, and we need an 8 result. There we go. 5 + 1 is 6, so that's going to be it's going to be unchanged. So then the next one with a +1, 7 + 1 is 8. So Brewer helped out with that one. So he's going to remove his disrupted marker, which is good. And then the 2 that are on the bridge, yeah, I'm going to have to say that they're not getting the +1 for Brewer. So they need an 8 or more. So the one on top gets an 8. Right, roll for the second one. Oh dear. Roll the 2. Right, nothing worse happens to him then. No. It just says unchanged. So that was... This guy on top, I said, was undisrupted. So will we leave it like that? Yeah, so he's disrupted still underneath on the bridge. He's okay. So we've got 1 unit, well... We've got 1 unit at the moment that's not got any morale issues that could move on to the drift. However, the next segment is going to be the boar rifle fire. So that could it could just like mess it right up again, couldn't it? So that's all our recovery. And yeah, let's just, like I say, the next step, glary, as boar rifle fire segment, refer to the rifle chart. Refer to the fire procedure chart. Right, there's maybe going to be a bit more to work out, but I think I've got things cleared up on how we deal with this. And although I might not be using these plot markers, I'm pretty sure it doesn't really matter the way, how I've been doing it. We'll see. We'll see if there's an issue where it looks like you need the plot markers. I mean, if it means I'm going to roll in 6 different areas and I'm going to say, right, this is a 1, this is a 2, this is... I'll just put the plot markers down, we'll roll a dice, and that'll be that. That's fine. But if it's between 2 areas, So we're going to generate target areas for them. The commandos, range of 1, refer to the boar zone chart, then to the boar plot chart, place plots. Then we roll to find the area. Then we put a single attack marker in it, or maybe a multiple attack marker in it. And we do that for all the... We do that first before we reach this bore firing. Okay. So, and we start with the strongest firing unit first. Yeah, that's important as well. So, well, I think the 7's up there. They're, I mean, even though they're suppressed, they can still fire. It's just they're going to get a -2. Ooh, is that taken into account? No. Their strength is still 7. It says strongest firing unit. Well, no, because I can't look at this and work it all out what the numbers are, because we're drawing an SP chart as well. So these are still classed as 7 strength. Because that's what they are, Grant. They've got 7 on the counter. So, yeah. These are, that's a 5, that's a 4. Well, they've not got nothing adjacent anyway. These 7s do have something adjacent, and it's these guys here. Now, Now, there's a thing then, which I hadn't thought about. Can they fire at the units on the bridge from that area? It's quite clear that this could fire on the units on the bridge. But if I've said that they weren't in the same area as Boer, then surely I've got to stick by my guns and say that they're not in the same area for these guys firing into the area. I could see that maybe being wrong though. I mean, because you do get this huge modifier of a +2 if you're firing on a unit that's a British unit in a drift or bridge area. So I mean, if this was to be the one that's firing, remember this has only got a strength of 2, so we're going to have to wait a bit to see. Oh, and also that is the Boer zone chart is that's a second priority rather than a third priority, which all the rest are going to be. So yeah, I kind of need to know this, don't I? It feels more logical that obviously this isn't in play, but if that was in play, we had units in there, they would be able to fire on that. They would not be able to fire on that or that. That's how I feel like it should be, but it was just the way of looking there, and I came across something that wanted me to stop and think here. The question was, and was answered by the designer. The guy had a leader in his brigade. His brigade was in this historical objective area, the Naval Brigade historical objective. And his question was, the objective for the brigade was not on the map anymore. So basically the leader can't move, remember? Well, mind you, in my case is the brigade's leader is on the map, Grant. Well, even with this though, what his question was, although the leader can't move, and they can only, his battalions can only be within 1 hex radius, 1 area adjacent to that. He says, would they be allowed to move? So remember, his leader's in here. Would they be allowed to move into this area? I mean, obviously they're going to have to go through that drift first. Or would they have to stop in that second point drift? Because that would then be still adjacent. And that was confirmed to be the answer, which threw me a little, because I kind of thought they would be allowed to go into there, which is adjacent. So obviously these drifts are not, obviously these drifts count as being adjacent to the areas, but whereas that is then not classed as that for that purpose. Although we can rifle fire across that river, it's not classed as adjacent to your leader still. And that was the designer that answered that. Slightly different for the situation with the second English, because their objective is up there. However, it's not really in a way, Grant, is it? Because if they want to move into there now, well, they can't, going by that answer. So, well, they can, but the leader's got to go with them. Yeah. So they could still move in there, but I've then got to move. Well, I've either got to move the leader with them or put them on the bridge. I would think. Yeah. Okay, so what was the way looking for? About if they can attack, yeah. If they can attack into this bridge area from there. And I don't think I'm going to find the answer to this, but yeah, there's a bit of a follow-up to that makes me believe that is not. And I think with what we've talked about there, I don't think they can target that area. They can because it's in that area, but they're firing into this area, and that's basically that's in another area, if you like. Well, it's not, but it's, yeah, I'm not going to allow that, and I think that's right. So they do have to fire at these guys. Right, sorry, hang on, where are we? We're trying to put attack markers down, aren't we? Right, hold on here. I'm lost. We're on bore rifle fire, yeah? Yeah, because they're the 7. Yeah, I can see a multiple attack that I've left along here. It shouldn't be there anymore. And that shouldn't be there either. Yeah, I just forgot to take them off, did I? Because we're on the bore rifle fire now, Grant. Yeah, it was. That's when we fired on him. Right. Yeah, we only had the 2. Okay. So, yeah, he's a 7. That's why we're looking there first. So he has only one choice. There's only one area he can fire into, and it's in there. And he will do that with his buddy, and it will be a multiple attack. Okay. All good. And he's not got a hidden marker, so we don't need to go and work it out if he can actually hit or not, because remember, they are suppressed. Right, who would be next that could fire? Well, that guy's a 6. However, this guy down here is a 6 as well. But they're not close together, so I don't think there's an issue with us just doing this one first. Well, in fact, that one can't attack anything again, can it? Because it's adjacent areas. The only adjacent area with British units is this, and because this takes priority first with the 7, yeah, it can't do anything. Okay, so then let's move to this 6. Well, you can see this guy can fire into here, which he's going to do. That will just be a single attack. And again, I'm putting these attack markers in. I'm not plotting anything because he's only got one area that he can fire into. There's no point me looking up zones and finding out all that stuff. If we come across one that requires me to check zones, then we will do that. So that is a strength of 6. Right, so he's got a strength of 5 and he's got a strength of 5. He's a 4. And they both, that's adjacent, and that one, that's adjacent. So how do we deal with that one? Right, hang on though. Well, I need to know which one I'm resolving first, because the thing is, he's only got one target. So you could say that he's got an alternative target of here, in actual fact, or here. These two. But it doesn't tell you. It says generate one target area for each firing unit in order of strongest firing unit first. I mean, clearly, if I was in charge here and deciding which one I would do, then this guy would be clearly the one I would choose to fire on here, because this guy can fire on here or here, and that guy can't. He's only got the one choice. But, this is an AI we're running now. This is not a 2-player game where we're sort of saying, well, clearly that's the one that you would do. So, well, could there be something that tells you in the rules? I mean, these are things that should be in the rules if you've got 2 of the same strength. So, but don't get me wrong, it might be. Resolve fire and order strongest firing unit first. Yeah, but that's resolving the fire. Board targeting. Right, hang on. Yeah, it does. I mean, it says there, target in order of strongest firing unit first, then next strongest, and so on. So it's not giving me any breakdown of that. So it could be a case of I choose, or it could be a case of random. I don't think I choose is going to help them at all, and I don't think it would be fair for me to say, or me to choose. So the best I can do is either randomize it, or I don't know. Maybe this is worthwhile asking a question. Maybe I should start asking some questions, Grant. Yeah, I feel like you're starting to get lazy, which I've noticed that I maybe have done a bit of in my last few playthroughs. Got to a point where I start getting a wee bit lazy, and I shouldn't be. Target in order of strongest firing unit first, then refer to the board zone chart to determine the zone. Yeah, and it's not as if we're like looking at a specific zone here. We're just finding out who is going to select the target first. I had a feeling I'm going to get an answer by saying just randomize it, but well, you know what? We're at an hour and 6 minutes. It's a kind of rotten place to stop, though, Grant, isn't it? I think I will, though. I think I will. I don't mind. It's not the first time I've like stopped a video in mid. I mean, I'm showing my step markers on the bore rifle fire segment. What we can do with that is, actually, I'm going to leave it at the very first bullet, because that is the one we're looking at. Generate one target area for each firing unit in order of strongest firing unit first. And it makes a difference here, because this guy's a strength of 5, this guy's a strength of 5. It makes a difference in which... oh, hold on. I was forgetting, they would multiple fire, wouldn't they? So hang on, if we choose this guy first, what did I say? He had 2 potential targets here and here. Did I not say somewhere else as well? Was I pointing at this? Right, I think I was. Yeah. He can only attack here or here, Grant. He can only attack here. So let's just say that I do pick this guy first, then this would be 4 stacking points, this would be 4 stacking points, so my belief is it would be a random between the two. And if he chose this one, this guy could still multi-fire it. If he chose this one, then this guy would just single fire it. So, does it really matter? But if we choose this guy first, then he fires into there, puts a single target marker in it. Then we choose this guy, we randomise between these two, and the same thing's going to happen. Yeah, so it's not a big deal, is it? Right, okay. Right, I will push on. I'm going to stop the video though, but I'm going to finish setting up my attack markers. So I'm going to just use this guy first, because he's not got an option. And then we're going to randomise. So we've got a single attack from him into there. But what I'm going to do is roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for this guy to see what we get. So 1, 2, 3 would turn that single attack into a multi-attack, basically. What is that? A 2. Right, so that is going to be the case. So, but let me know your thoughts on that. If anybody's got information that I'm doing that wrong, and we should randomise these first. In this situation, it wouldn't matter, I don't think, but I think you could see it's possible that it might matter. So basically, he's now wanting to target this, and there was no difference, yeah, because the zone situation, it's Zone C, south of the river, and then the conditions, they would both have 4 stacking points. So, and then we randomise between the two. We got this one, so this has a multiple attack in it as well, from this guy and this guy. And one of them will get the SP, but it doesn't really matter which. So moving along, so that's that guy dealt with, that guy dealt with. The 6 we couldn't deal with. Yeah, what I should have done was put cubes on the units that maybe could fire. So this guy can still do something. Is there anybody else? Don't think so, because he's only a 2, isn't he? No, that's it. There's nothing adjacent to them. Nothing adjacent to that. Right, so... Oh, well, these are not being fired up. Well, even if they had been fired upon with single attack, he would still consider that. However, yeah, we know where he's going to go. He's going to go at this. Alright. So we now look at this 2 strength unit, and we check where he can fire. And we check the zone chart. And the zone priority number 2 is all drifts and bridges. Well, and then some other stuff. So that is a priority over that, which is just zone, which is priority 3, south of the river. And this is also priority 3, south of the river, because he could actually, he's adjacent to that area, and he's got that bridge. So he's going to target the bridge. Now, is he? Well, I think so. I think the fact he's getting a +2, I would think he probably is. Because, well, here's the thing here. If I have to decide where he's firing on, priority-wise, and then I find out that he cannot hit there, do I then change that to something else? Well, there's no way he's going to change, because he's getting a +2 for attacking the bridge. He's not getting any pluses for attacking there. He's not getting any pluses for attacking there. Well, you know what I mean. He's getting an extra +2 for attacking there. So that's where that's going to go. Now, hopefully I'm going to remember that's come from there. Because I'm going to just stop it there, I think. Yeah, because that's everybody now. Don't think there's anybody else adjacent. Yeah, I can't really point the marker. I think I'll suss it out. I've got the video footage to look back on anyway, so I'll probably do that. Not so sure I'm going to get back tonight now. I'd like to, but I think I've got to cook some food tonight as well, and I'm up a bit back to work tomorrow. Not early start, but it's still early enough to be not up late. Okay, right, I'll just leave that for now then, because it has got an hour and 15 minutes. These videos are really clicking in as well with a lot of big time. Like I said earlier, anything I see me do seems to just take forever. But I'm enjoying myself, so that's the point, isn't it? Okay, I'll be back. I'll probably be back tomorrow with a bit more. Okay, cheers.